It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about three guys on offense that could be a little bit of a shock to actually make the team. So three underdogs that I think have a very, very legit shot of making the team on the Minnesota Vikings. Before we get into that, remember, subscribe to the One Bar and Lupica Show. Like the videos. We're here every damn day, sometimes multiple times a day, talking Minnesota Vikings. But let's get into this. There's nothing better than an underdog story, especially in training camp, especially for the Minnesota Vikings. And the first guy I got listed is a pretty hot name when it comes to undrafted free agents, especially for the Vikings. Yes, it is Texas A&M wide receiver Courtney Davis. Courtney Davis was brought in as an undrafted free agent by the Vikings. This guy was looked at as even a potential late day two guy. He just kept slipping, and next thing you know, this dude is undrafted. Vikings bounced all over him. Courtney Davis had many suitors out there who wanted him, but he made a very, very good choice. Why did he make a good choice? Is because after Thielen, yes, we got in Jefferson, we got BC Johnson, signed Tajay Sharp, but the wide receiving core is a big old mystery, and he went to a spot where he can actually compete. Even though people had him as a possible late day two guy, early day three, the fact is he did go undrafted. A lot of receivers went off the board instead of him. So it's not like he's a shoo-in to get in here at all. But Courtney Davis, I mean, he's a good route runner. He's got, I would say, decent hands. He's shifty. He's got like depth written all over him. He's a guy that is probably going to be a number 3, number 4 guy in the league. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But he had some injury issues in college, which probably did not help his way to get drafted. But fortunately for us, we did pony up. I think we gave him like $100,000 bonus. So the love is definitely there. When you look at guys like Chad Beebe, even Tajay Sharp, they're by no means a lock to make this roster at all. We'll probably keep about 5 receivers depending on what we do at tight end. But Courtney Davis, I think he ends up sneaking in here. He's a guy that if he gets released, you know, someone's going to snap him up. I can't see him being able to get snuck on in the practice squad. So if it comes down to a BB, a guy that gets constantly injured, who has never really proven anything on the field, or an undrafted free agent guy like this who has some potential, why not roll the dice? Courtney Davis, he's getting my vote for sneaking in on this team. Next guy, I'm going on the offensive line, big man, Kyle Hinton, D2 guy from Washburn. Again, it's kind of the same scenario. He's coming into a spot where he really doesn't have that much competition. Right now, Pat Elflein and Dakota Dozier are penciled in as their starters. Drew Samia, he'll be pushing Mr. Dozier too, but after that, you got Collins. We got really nothing else. Kyle Hinton was a dude who went to, was it the Kansas workout? I can't remember. Pro day, and just lit it up. The guy went and ran a 4.7 40, 34 reps. He was a monster at Washburn. He ripped it up. I mean, yes, it was D2, so he's got a lot of way to go. He played left tackle. Vikings are looking at kicking him inside. A lot of teams after his pro day had him lined up to come in for a visit, but then all this COVID shit happened, and it just didn't go. So the Vikings pulled the trigger on him in round 7, strictly because Hinton probably would have been one of the top undrafted free agents that teams would have been going after. You know, low risk, high reward. But when you look at the competition, when you look at Hinton, he's another guy that I don't think sneaks onto a practice squad. So in a year where it's going to be very, very tough for late round guys and undrafted guys to actually make a team just because of everything going on, just because they're not going to see much action, no preseason. Kyle Hinton, even with 15 draft picks the Vikings got, I think he's got a very, very legit shot. When you pair him up with last year's late round Oli Udoh, you know, the Vikings have some potential there. So Kyle Hinton, love that guy. And the last one, number 3 for the Vikings, who I think might sneak on offensively, is quarterback Nate Stanley. You know, the Vikings do not draft quarterbacks. And the fact, even though it was round 7, they snapped him up. Something, even with 15 picks, they must love something about him. And I think the Vikings do end up keeping 2 quarterbacks like they did last year. And what that means is Sean Mannion is gonzo. They brought Sean Mannion back on another 1-year contract, but Nate Stanley, when I look at it, what's the difference if Sean Mannion's out there or if Nate Stanley's out there? Sean Mannion is not going to win you a game. Yes, Sean Mannion has been in the league. He knows the system. He's actually a pretty damn smart quarterback. He doesn't back it up with the numbers, but why not go with a guy like Nate Stanley, groom him along? Like I said, if Cousins goes down, we're screwed anyways unless we give Dalvin Cook the ball 40 times. So Nate Stanley, I think, is a dark horse to not only break the hearts of all the Jake Browning fans, but also leap Sean Manning for his spot. So I got Nate Stanley, I got Courtney Davis, and Kyle Hinton as three sneaky guys who could make the team on offense.